What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel, this time with a video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be doing the Art of series, and I'm actually going to be doing the Art of Garnet. Now I know that this character just got her global first burst on Global Opera Omnia, as well as her early C90 and as well as her early rework. So a lot of you guys that have already pulled for the character already have an idea of what she's able to do or what she's capable of. But for those of you that are newer and are still on the fence and are unaware of just how powerful she is, or just for those of you that are a little less experienced and you kind of want like a visual gameplay just showing what she could do and putting into perspective just how strong she is, this is the intent for the video. And also a few of my viewers did ask me, hey 40, maybe you should make the Art of Garnet, because it could definitely help out some players that, you know, haven't been playing Dissidia Opera Omnia for a while. So that is the intent of this video, so hopefully it helps you guys out. Now remember, with my The Art of series, I don't touch percentages or go super in-depth anymore. It's just a summarization of what the character can do that I am featuring. If you're looking for more in-depth stuff, check out the links down below in the video description as well as the pinned comments. There's some great resources out there, as well as some other content creators who do more in-depth videos for these specific characters for Opera Omnia. Without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Art of Garnet. So as you can see right here, my party comp is running Garnet, Shantoto, and Ryudo. Both Shantoto and Ryudo can actually complement Garnet really well. Well, actually, Garnet can pretty much slot in any team slot because of how powerful she is now, but I chose these two because they have ways to really complement what she can do. So we're going to start off with Toto here by dropping the Omni Imperil. And this complements Garnet very well because Garnet's Imperils are actually generic debuffs, and the problem with generic debuffs is if you're running her with, let's say, another party member who loves to apply a ton of debuffs, those can get easily pushed off. So that's one way that Shantoto can actually complement Garnet. And we all know Shantoto's kind of a meme right now, but hey, with Garnet, Shantoto can actually come back and help Garnet out. Okay, so with Ryudo, we're actually going to go right into his EX. And what I love about this particular pairing of Garnet and Ryudo is after he uses his EX, he insta-charges everything else. And Garnet's EX is actually really good because, one, when you use it, it gives you a free skill usage of her skill 1, skill 2, or her C65 on her next turn. It's also insta turn rate, and it's a way for you to set up her most optimum, I guess you could call it a rotation, when you actually go into her burst phase. So Garnet's rework, both her skill 1 and skill 2 now deal multiple HP dumps or HP attacks. Skill 1 deals 2, whereas skill 2 deals 3. So I would say that skill 3 is her more offensively oriented, let's call it a stance, because remember, when you use either one of them, it focuses on a specific element. So for example, you press skill 1, it focuses on water enchant and water imperil. You do skill 2, it focuses on thunder enchant and thunder imperil. But more than likely, unless enemies are resistant or absorb thunder, you're going to be pressing skill 2 a little bit more often because that's the one that actually deals more damage. We're going to start off here by actually applying the Kurosame debuff. So we get that big HP damage up debuff on the bosses. Stacks. Alright, and what I'm going to do here, because I have the EX active thanks to Ryudo, I'm going to go ahead and just skill 2. And then afterwards, what I'm going to do here is we're going to go ahead and pop the EX because it's insta turn rate, and we're going to get a free skill usage on her next turn of either her skill 1, skill 2, or her C65. And in this case, I'm going to choose to go with just for turn efficiency. And her C65 now, with her C90 available to her, is going to add Party Brave Gain and Party Brave Gain Overflow. So that's, and also it now lasts for 7 turns, whereas before it only used to last for 5 turns. So it's much better. It's a lot better now, and it also lasts longer. So we're going to go ahead and use that since it's free. And then what I'm actually going to do is press her skill 2 again, and I'll touch up on the reason as to that, as to why I chose to do that. And look at that. We get well, her turn hopped, and then all of a sudden it went backwards. Okay, that was interesting. Let's see, with Toto, I am gonna actually press this now, so we can get a burst effect up and stack it. follow-up that is coming from her LD effect. Every time her LD effect gets up to 4 stacks, it will trigger that follow-up no matter whose turn it is. The stack increases whenever anybody takes an action. So whether it's a party member or whether it's an ally, the stack will increase. So characters that like to turn hog, or like for example like Vayne or Terra, can actually take advantage of this and keep racking up the stack to 4 and then taking advantage of that follow-up attack. So that's actually a really cool functionality of that LD overhead effect right there. All right, so with Yudo, what we're gonna do is pop his C65. And then I'm gonna set up again with his LD because I want his EX active, so we could get an optimum. We're going to touch up a little bit on the upgrades that her LD got because she did get an LD board rework. Now, the most important thing about her LD now is after you use it, it actually refreshes a skill usage of both her skill 1 and her skill 2. So now she has more longevity with her skill usage, and you don't necessarily have to press her Brave or HP attack command anymore. You're going to be less reliant on those, and you can actually skill spam with Garnet, which is really, really cool. So we're going to go ahead and use her LD. It'll also give us more turns of her LD overhead. And remember, her LD overhead party elemental weakness brave damage up helps when you're playing around with elemental weakness. Okay, and as you can see right there, her skill 2 now is back at 9 uses, which is really awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is actually go into the finish burst so we could touch up about why that's super powerful. So we're going to go ahead and use it here. It's going to deal a ton of damage, 2 HP attacks. It's preceded by 15 brave hits. Or 8 brave hits, excuse me. 8 brave hits. And what this burst effect does is it provides a ton. And by a ton, I'm talking int brave up to the party, attack up, brave gain up, gain brave overflow, brave damage up, HP damage up. It also provides HP regen, and it also provides brave damage cap up and HP damage cap up. And that HP damage cap up is at 30%, which is fantastic. It's phenomenal. That's extremely powerful because we're at an era now where bosses are getting more they're becoming bigger HP sponges, especially when we hit Transcendence 9, where that particular Transcendence, the Reckoning stage, the boss has a lot of HP, and being able to HP damage cap up with effects such as Garnet's burst effect or your Ultima weapons or other characters that can provide that is extremely important. So then that way you're being efficient with how much damage you're able to deal. Because remember, while we do have access to HP damage up, characters do have their limit on how much HP damage you could do unless you have effects such as HP damage cap up. And just to put into perspective, this is a screenshot of a tweet that Black Nero, fellow DFFOO content creator, be sure to check him out. His channel is in the video description as well as the pinned comment. He said Garnet plus Ramza equals 94% HP damage cap up. That's insane. Just imagine your entire party dealing 94% HP damage cap up. That's a ton of damage, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, if this version of Garnet was present in current JP Opera Omnia, which is, you know, JP's ahead by like 6 to 8 months, she would still be very viable and useful even in the current Shinryu FR era because of how powerful she is as a support and a damage enabler. She's really, really strong. And another cool thing about her burst effect is on top of all of that, all of those effects that she provides to your party, once it expires, it's going to trigger a follow-up attack, and this follow-up attack is going to cleanse all debuffs from the party. It's going to it's going to heal their brave, and then it's going to deal a massive AoE HP attack dealt 3 times with 5 brave hits that are preceding it. It's going to be dealing 100% HP damage. It also has brave damage cap up, max brave cap up, all that good stuff, and also refunds by the amount of HP damage that you deal. And then after that, it's going to grant a golden framed buff to your party, and that golden framed buff pretty much mirrors what her burst effect gives you, minus the brave damage cap up and HP damage cap up. But imagine stacking both. Imagine having that golden framed buff that she grants from after her burst effect expires, and then afterwards going into her burst phase and having her burst effect active again. And also, when that golden framed buff expires on any of the party members, that same follow-up attack from when the burst effect expired on Garnet is going to trigger again. So just imagine how much of an advantage that you'll have just by having all of those active. She's ridiculously insane, and anybody who's picked her up and built her up by now is already noticing that. And again, for those of you that are on the fence, I really hope this helps you guys out. But we're going to go ahead and just kind of put it into perspective from a visual standpoint. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now with Shantoto is let's do Salvation Scythe. Okay. And then just for the purposes of the video, this is what we're going to go ahead and do. I'm going to charge up Garnet's EX.
新たな空を求めて乗り越えろ。
Damage we're doing now that we have the HP damage cap up. And also I forgot to mention, my Garnet has an Ultima weapon equipped, and the Ultima weapon allowing your party members to deal more brave damage, more HP damage. It does have the brave damage cap up and HP damage cap up. These stack again, so super strong character. She's ridiculously powerful. All right, so this is what I'm going to go ahead and do here. I will purposely do this, and then I'm going to go right into Holy Prayer. And the reason why I like having Ryudo in my party setup with Garnet is because since he refreshes everybody's EX gauge, we can go into Garnet's EX and we have the free skill usage active here. And then what we could do now is we could click Burst, and then we can go into her most optimum setup as far as being into the burst phase. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the free skill usage of skill 2. We're gonna go ahead and do that again. Okay. And then we get the follow-up. I can't believe how much damage it's able to do just off of a follow-up. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and go into her skill 1. And even skill 1, look at that. It only has 2 HP attacks, but that's some pretty respectable damage there. And now we're going to go ahead and go into her LD, because we know now her LD refreshes her skill 1. So you're just skill spamming in the burst phase as long as you use her EX prior to going into her. And as we can see right there, the burst effect is going to expire soon, so you guys will get to see that follow-up. I actually because I wanted to end in her skill 2. I think this when you use her skill 2, I think she has like brave damage up, I believe, versus skill 1 giving gate or part brave data. But it really doesn't matter. I mean, we're dishing out a ton of damage. And then watch this. This is the Immaculate Judgment, which triggered after the burst effect expired. That was about almost 850k damage there. That's pretty insane. And now look at that. Everybody has the 6-turn golden framed buff. And remember, when that expires, it will also trigger that follow-up that we just saw. So that's insanely powerful. And then afterwards, we're just going to go ahead and Garnet again. So now we're going to have both the golden frame buff active on party members, and as well as the insanely powerful burst effect, and they stack. So damage is going to skyrocket. Lufenia Orb is at 1. This would be really funny if I died here to the Lufenia Orb for the Art of. Somebody made a joke about that. Oh, we're totally going to die. Okay. Well, besides that, you guys kind of get my point, right? Garnet is an extremely powerful character, and she will allow you to hit those high HP damage caps, which again is very important when it comes to the current state of the game, where bosses will have a lot of HP. Sometimes turn requirement is going to be low, and you want to be efficient in being able to deal as much damage as possible when it comes to building party comms and being efficient. So again, character is super powerful, but I'm going to let you guys decide whether or not you think Garnet is going to be worth your resources based on the gameplay visual showcase that I showed here. Well, besides me dying, we'll just call this the meme part of the video. Somebody actually mentioned that, oh, you should show the art of gem reviving, which I guess I could do it here, but I'm not going to. So, but guys, from my perspective and in my opinion, and from a lot of other content creators and people that I've talked to in the community, Garnet is insanely powerful. And even if we put her now, even if you put this Garnet right now into current JP Opera Omnia, she's still going to be really powerful. Very, very strong character. Anyone who picks her up will really see the value of what she's able to bring with these early upgrades that she got as our global first. All right, guys. Well, this is going to go ahead and conclude the video. Hopefully it helps you guys out, besides gem reviving. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and mahalo, everyone.